What is Docker and why would it be relevant for you as a tester? Now, imagine this scenario. You have this new feature that you want to test. It's something that is fresh off the presses from the developers. And you want to get it on your computer and you want to test it. But in order to test it, it turns out that you have to install a lot of software. You have to install a database, maybe a message broker, maybe an email server, all of these dependencies that the system is dependent on. You go through that whole process. It takes you half a day, it takes you a day to get it all set up. You test this new feature, you find a problem, you report it back to the developer, and then they go like, well, that's because your database is misconfigured, or it's because you didn't have this dependency. And all of this work is undone, and you have to test it again. And here is where Docker could help you. Docker is what is called a container platform. Basically, a container, you can think of that as a bubble. So you can start different applications and different services in its own little bubble on your computer. So you have a bubble that has a database in it, or an email server, or any other application that you like. And the nifty thing with these bubbles are that not only will they be in its own bubble on your machine, but you can actually share these bubbles with other people, and the bubble will stay the same. So instead of you having to install all the dependencies, you can just get these bubbles from the developer. So the developer will say, okay, here is a bubble with the database. Here is the bubble with the message broker. And you know then that you have the same version and the same configuration as the developer, and ultimately also the same version and the same configuration as, for example, test environment and in production. So it helps you to, first of all, get started very more quickly, but also to ensure that your configuration is the same. So when you're testing and when you're finding issues, you can feel confident that these issues are actually a problem with the code and not a problem with your configuration. And this is where I believe Docker has a great advantage for us as testers, is to help us get to the code faster. We don't have to wait for it to get to a common shared test environment. We can get it much faster from the developers, and by getting it faster from the developers, we can also give faster feedback, and we can get the whole process of fixing the problems and releasing the code to be more efficient, and ultimately we can deliver more with better quality.